So, welcome back to a final session of Introduction to Herbal Industry, Unit 11. We have gone through the introduction as well as the other requirements. Now, we will today learn about the legal basis and general requirement of a GMP. GMP for ASU drug is defined under Rule 157 of Drug and Cosmetics Rule 1945. Schedule T specifies infrastructural, technical and hygienic requirement for the workers. Compliance with the Schedule T is mandatory for licensed manufacturer. In earlier lecture, we have seen that all over the India around 8,000 different manufacturers which are already got registered for ASU medicine production. A compliance with Schedule T is mandatory for all such units. Licensing authorities enforce GMP provision during inspections. These inspections provide good amount of knowledge about what is being practiced in the industry. GMP certification reflects regulatory compliance and product creditability. Separate license required for each manufacturing premise. For example, one producer is preparing formulation belongs to Ayurveda as well as Unani medicine, then the licensing for Ayurvedic products is separate than Unani products, and similarly for both the products they should have a separate premises. Applications are submitted in prescribed form as per the regulations governed by the authorities. A state government appoint licensing authority region wise for each state so that the practitioners and producers from those region and those states can apply for the regulations. Licensing ensure legal and quality compliance for all such products. Multiple premise required multiple licenses. For example, a producer will have units on the different location, then each location required a separate licensing and authority need to give a different certification for each location. Personal training and responsibilities. Operator must be trained to perform assigned tasks as per the prescribed procedure. We call it as a standard operating procedure or SOPs. Training ensures correct execution of a procedure. Every time such training need to be given and revisions need to be given to the operators and workers so that none of the procedure will have a loopholes or misunderstanding regarding particular operations during the following those procedure. Personnel must document activities accurately so that their traceability will be possible. Qualified technical staff supervise manufacturing operations and need to be document them when as required. Training programs enhance compliance and product quality, and such programs need to be maintained in those premises throughout the year. Record keeping and documentation. Records must be maintained during every stage of a manufacturing, be it a procurement till the distribution. All the records need to be maintained for all the products so that the traceability is possible. Records demonstrate adherence to defined procedure. If the records are not there, then such procedure are not followed is the consideration by the authority. Manual or instrument based records are acceptable, but they need to be maintained in hard copy format. Records ensure traceability of the batches. Record also ensure the traceability of the distributed products. Records also need to be maintained for the raw material which is procured from the third party, and the analysis or evaluation have done for such raw material. Proper documentation support audits and inspection, which give a good amount of trust into the product quality and product safety. Deviation and investigations. Any deviation from procedure must be investigated. All the deviation are need to be considered as a change into the procedure, and as we have discussed earlier, the change have a major impact in the quality need to be well documented. Deviation must be documented with a corrective action. If the deviation do have impact on the quality, then the corrective action for that particular deviation also need to be documented. We also understand that if such deviations are frequent, then corrective measures need to be known for such frequent deviations. Root cause analysis ensure prevention of reoccurrences. Hence, sometimes some of the deviations, if they are occurring regularly, to find out the root cause and avoidance of such reoccurrences need to be understood. Proper handling of deviations improves quality system. Even there are deviations, but if the operators and the person who is performing the operations able to document it properly, that shows that deviations are well systematically processed so that their impact will be minimum onto the quality. Because if they do not document it, then the impact will not be considered. Transparency strengthens regulatory trust, and that is why documentation is unavoidable part of a regulation. Regulatory duties of a drug inspector. Inspectors can inspect the manufacturing premises as and when they get any kind of a complaint from the consumer or from the any other authorized person. They assess standardization and testing methods. They also check the SOPs are being followed by the operators or the person who is performing the operations, and they also check the quality parameters for final approval of products. Inspector monitor cell, storage and distribution points and check the quality on each point. Is there any variation? If possibly found in quality, then they make the note in their findings. Authority ensure compliance with Chapter 4A. Chapter 4A we have already discussed in the previous section. Inspections protects public health and safety, which is a utmost priority of the manufacturer. For such licensing, there is a fees applicable. Application for license made in Form 24D as per the regulation need to be present in front of the authorities. Fees of 1000 rupees for grant of a renewal is paid. Late renewal attract additional fees and the fees is chargeable as per the authority. Duplicate licenses can be issued on payment and they can be kept for the further use. Clear fee structure ensure administrative efficiency. A loan license allows use of another manufacturer's facility. In such cases, the separate licensing application need to be given to the authority. Application made in the Form 24E for the loan licensing purpose. Applicable fee structure for grant and renewal is again applies for the loan licensing as well. Useful for manufacturer lacking infrastructure. Such license help a small scale manufacturer to get their product in a large scale. If they are lacking infrastructural requirement for such product, then they can loan license such facility, but for that they need to register their premises for loan licensing. Ensure compliance despite shared facility. GMP certification and validity. GMP certificate issued under the Rule 155B. This GMP certificate, the template of it and other parameters are mentioned in the Rule 155B. Valid for minimum 5 years from the date of issuance. Renewal is as per the rules and regulations under the 155B. Issue to complaint ASU drug manufacturer only, and that need to be maintained during the every inspection. Certificate issued along with the license, grant or a renewal. This certificate will have the validity date mentioned on it. Before that, it need to be renewed. Reflects the adherence to the Schedule T requirement. Only the certificate holding manufacturer can put a stamp of a GMP on the product label as per the regulations. The other documentation requirement as per the GMP guidelines. Each licensee must develop documented procedure for manufacturing processes. Procedure should be complied into the quality manual. Documentation ensure consistency, traceability of operations. Manual must be available for inspection by the authority. Documentation support accountability and regulatory transparency need to be followed. Manufacturing must be compliant with hygienic condition as per the Schedule T. GMP verification mandatory before licensing issuance. Qualified technical staff must be supervise production. Specific educational and experience criteria need to be defined, and proper staffing ensure quality, safety and compliance. So, this is a entire requirement in the Schedule T. In coming unit, we will see all this requirement in detail. Thank you.